We are all set, ready to rock and roll. Episode 40. Oh my gosh, Noel. As I was writing the caption for the event, I'm thinking back 10 months ago. 10 months, Noel. How fast?
10 months.
10 months.
So that means we
Episode
started
40.
in, was it January we started this?
Yeah, somewhere about mid towards the end of January.
Right.
And we are going strong. We are going strong with new stories, new segments, amazing people coming in every week. And I'm super excited. I'm so excited. I'm just going to take this opportunity to thank you, everyone who are tuning in from Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Welcome to Two Guys and Their Gym talk show. We are live here every Monday, 9 p.m. to about 9:45 or 10 p.m. And we invite and humbly welcome you to episode 40.
Yeah, so if you are streaming in today, we are always curious to know where are you streaming in from. And so comment below, type in the chat box, whether you are watching this on Facebook, LinkedIn, or watching this live on Instagram. Comment below where, your city or state or country, and answer this one question. The question is, what is the most challenging thing you've done this year? What is the most challenging thing you've done this year? It's going to require some thinking, I think. Alvin, you want to go first?
Yeah,
Putting me in the spot.
I like it. But the first thing that came to my mind, I'm tuning in from Kajan, and the most challenging thing I've done this year is being more patient. I feel so many things happen this year for me. And one of the things that challenged me the most is say, Alvin, you got to be patient. Alvin, let go. Let it be. Trust the process. Be patient. So that's my most challenging thing this year is being patient.
Awesome. I mean, I'm streaming from Kuala Lumpur, from KL, and my most challenging thing for this year would be, I wouldn't say it's patience. It's a combination of things. My most challenging thing is keeping the business, the team, the coaches, everything that we're doing, just keeping it going. That's really it. With the multiple lockdowns, I think this year alone, what would be 5 months we were closed in total, something like that. So it's crazy, and this is like a year after the whole pandemic started. So that's my most challenging thing this year. It's not one single event, but really just the multiple months of just holding on. and well, now we're here now. Okay, we're kind of like on the other side of things. So I'm it's not over, but at least the gym's open and we can work on other things. So that's my most challenging thing, really just keeping the business, keeping everything going when it feels like you don't want to keep going. That's the challenging thing. So if you're just streaming in, this is just our little introduction and icebreaker question for us to get to know you better. Comment below, where are you streaming in from? We're going to read some of the comments shortly. And what is the most challenging thing that you have done or encountered or have to be a part of this year? Comment and we would like to know. I'm going to read some of the comments coming in on Instagram. I have Kim. Kim is saying the hardest thing for her was to lead the team while being vulnerable. So it's hard. It's like we're not perfect, right? So I totally understand what Kim's saying. Sometimes when you're in a position of leadership or when people look up to you, you feel like you need to have it all together. So that's the part where it's hard. So thank you for sharing that, Kim. That's awesome. Thank you for hanging on, doing what you do. Penny's from Penang. And her most challenging thing is more cooking. She loves to bake but hates to cook. Okay, that's nice. Alvin, did I lose you on Instagram or did you lose me? Or did you hear what I said, Alvin?
Yeah, we are all good.
Got it up. Okay, awesome. Just checking, my friends, because sometimes it could be my probably my internet connection. So keep commenting below, my friends. We will come back to it later. We're gonna start moving on with the show. As Alvin mentioned just now, episode 40. We have an awesome episode today, and we have a very special guest. There's a reason why we brought her in today for episode. She'll be coming up shortly. Alvin, what's our next segment and what do we have in store for everyone?
So before I dive into our next segment, my invitation to you is to please, if you're watching this on Facebook and LinkedIn, to click on the share button. So when you share today's live, it will reach out to more people so that everyone can benefit from our stories and our experience and the questions being asked. With that being said, we do have a segment, Ask Us Anything, where you comment any questions, be it nutrition, fitness, life, or business. You comment your questions anywhere on the chat board below. Noel and I are going to bring them up and then we're going to answer them during that segment, okay? With that being said, I'm going to lead you through our next segment, which is Discovery of the Week. This segment, I'm going to take it by saying, I saw a very interesting article, Noel, and it got me thinking, like, I never thought about that. So my discovery of the week is about Smile. And I'm going to share with you 3 facts about Smile. And number 1 is that Smile use up to 53 facial muscles. So that just by you smiling, your body use up to 53 muscles. So
on the face, 53 muscles
on the face,
right?
mainly on the face.
It doesn't even seem like we have
your
53
neck.
muscles on the face, but wow, okay.
Yeah. So think about it. If you want to lose weight, you want to use more muscles. That could be it. So that's number 1. Number 2, Smile relieve stress. So we all know that when we smile, our body kind of let go the happy hormone, the endorphins when you smile. And when you don't feel like smiling and you force a smile, just like your body kind of push or do release some happy hormones too. So the moment you feel sad, one key thing is, you know what? Let me just smile first and then see what happens. So that's going to work. All right. And the third one is my favorite. Smiles are more attractive than makeup. That's why you see Noel and I, we don't know. This is what you see is what you get. Okay. Smiles are more attractive than makeup. So there's a study done and they asked all kinds of people. They found that 69% of the people feels that someone without any makeup are more attractive. And I agree to that. Okay. Natural beauty is the best. And that's my 3 little thing about Smile. Do you like to smile, Noel?
Yes, I think I smile a lot, but also here's the thing: a lot of people tell me that my default look is like as if I'm frowning. So if I don't put any effort and remembering to smile, my default is I'm not smiling. Some people are like always their default is like smiling. That's not me. My default is like I have a frown. So people like Kim will always remind me like, "What's wrong?" And I'll be like, "Nothing's wrong." They're like, "Oh, but your face looks like there's something wrong," but actually it's nothing. So that's me. So that's interesting. I seem to have gotten disconnected from Instagram, Alvin. It's not even letting me start the feed. So we can carry on, but just let me try to get this going for the time being.
Okay, so Noel, as you said it, I'm going to invite all of you who are tuning in to share this live on your Facebook and LinkedIn, and at the same time, comment any questions that you have, okay? So Noel and I are streaming on not only on Facebook and LinkedIn, but on a separate device on Instagram. And that's the tricky part right here. You know, every week we are multi-streaming on 2 different devices, and that's 2 different platforms. Instagram somehow doesn't allow, I would say, integration with Facebook, and that's the downside. So as Noel is setting up, I invite you to comment any questions you have and feel free to share. Our little call to action in the beginning, what is the most challenging thing you have done? Okay, and then throughout at the end of our show, we're just going to revisit back the comments section on Facebook and LinkedIn, and we will go through them.
Yeah. Do you see me live on Instagram, Melvin? I see myself live, but it's just frozen. You don't see me
I
live,
don't
right?
see you live. I don't.
This is.
This is the surprise and joy that we have for episode 40. And every now and then, Instagram will just like, here you go. And that's the fun part. That is the fun part of multi-streaming.
Okay, let me try this. I think this should work now. It says checking connection. It should be on shortly. And after this, we're going to have Kim come on already.
Right.
Great. Okay, so I think I'm able to successfully come back on live. I'm going to wait for you to find me and just hit that request button.
And I do.
You see me, right? Okay, there you go.
I'm going to request, and this is how we get our episode going. Thank you so much for your patience. We have our next segment, special appearance. Kim is coming on, and then we have Ask Us Anything. We have a little segment on Spotlight where we're going to
There
share with
we
you
go.
something. And then our little after party on Instagram if it decides to be with us to the end.
There we go. Okay, everyone. So moving on, we will just kick off the next segment since I've taken enough of everyone's time. Um, Noel always has to pull off something. You all know me, my friends. So thank you
It's not Noel,
for
it's
giving me.
Instagram.
It's me. It's always me. So here's the thing. So episode 40, and today we have special guest, not a stranger. She's been on many of our shows, and we thought that it would be good to have Kim come on the show because she's actually kind of been there almost every show.
Right.
If not just here, either downstairs, supporting me in some way,
Thank
bringing me something to drink. So there's anyone who's just been there, like literally every show, and really seen the behind the scenes of me running up and down and getting ready and coming back and all that. It's actually Kim. So that's why we wanted to have Kim on today. So you would see her whether you're streaming in on Facebook or Instagram. You will see us. So welcome, Kim, and I'll just give everyone a very brief introduction in case you're like, who is this person? Well, firstly, Kimbeley is a two-time. If you Google Kimbeley Yap, this is the first thing you'll find. 2 times SEA Games gold medalist for triathlon, and triathlon is where you need to swim and then you come out. Yeah, the water first, right, Kim? Yeah, swim and then you come out and then you get on the bike. And then you cycle, and then you put the bike aside, and then you run and finish, right? So not just one sport, but 3 things. I'm sure she'll tell us a little bit about that and some of the questions we're going to ask her. But so Kim is a gold medalist. She's a pride of Malaysia. She has her own Wikipedia page, which is really cool. I don't have a Wikipedia page. I don't know how she got it. Someone made it for her. But we want to welcome you, Kim. And also, if you don't know everyone, Kim is my beloved wife. And so it is, and she's my colleague. We work together, we stay together, we eat together, we walk the dog together.
I think so.
And now we're here together. So welcome, Kim. You're like officially our guest today, and it's like, but you're not a stranger to the show. Can you just share with us, like, what do you do? What do you do? Like, who are you? What do you do?
Thank you for having me, 2 guys and their gym. It's a humble journey, and so for what do? I get people strong. I'm a movement specialist at DailyMuscle, and that's what I do. I get people to move better and lead a better quality life, and in return, I think in many ways, I think they will transition into leading a better quality life.
So you're no more an athlete, not running and racing, and now you are helping other people kind of become athletes in their own way.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. And you work for
Athletes
DailyMuscle.
of life.
Right.
Yes, okay, I work for DailyMuscle. No, I work in DailyMuscle.
Together,
okay.
That's
together.
Yeah. Now, Kim, just now as Noel was introducing you and he talked about triathlon, gold medalist, and I think a lot of us at the back here will see, okay, Kim is, an instructor, work in DailyMuscles, work for DailyMuscles. A lot of us would like to know what's the story behind your journey. I know there's a book that you wrote, is it? But by grace, right? If I'm not mistaken, can you share with us a little bit about that? What's your journey behind that book?
Yes, so I actually have the book with me, and yes, this is my book. And every time I tell someone a story about my journey, they would tell me to write a book. And it has been many years that someone told me that you should write a book you should document this journey of yours. And so I think it was because of everyone's encouragement, Noel and I decided to crowd fund the book. So because at that moment we weren't financially ready to have a book, to publish a book. So we did a crowd fund to get this book out. And yes, and it was a very interesting journey, actually, when someone gives you money first before they see the
So what's
final
the book
product.
about? What's this book about that everyone crowdfunded? You want to give us a little teaser?
Yes, so the book is about
Overview.
my journey, and yes, it's about my journey and the accident, and how I got out of that freak accident on the 24th of, I don't remember. Oops. I don't even want to remember the day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
So
that's the
so
story about
so
the book.
so so give us an overview. So Kim used to be an athlete, and then she became a trainer, and then she wanted to compete again for the SEA Games because it was coming up, and then she started
Mhm.
training. I'm giving you all the super brief version of the book. Okay, the book will take you maybe
Yeah.
half an hour to read. I'm gonna do it in
Yeah.
1 minute. And then she met me, and then she was training, and then getting ready for SEA Games, and then she had an accident, like Kim said, it's a freak accident that almost took her life, and kind of completely dashed all her hopes and dreams of that SEA Games ever taking place and making a comeback to win more gold medals. And that journey kind of turned things around for Kim and for me as well. And because she couldn't walk properly, for someone who was able to win 2 gold medals and be a strong woman and athlete, she now couldn't do the things that she used to. So it was a journey of recovery and meeting many people coming together. So the book goes into deeper detail on that and how she overcame some of these challenges. And then we got married. So my photo is in that book. I just want to say
Yes.
somewhere
Yes.
in there, but it's mostly Kim because it's her book. But if you go far enough to the back, you'll find my photo. But it's in there, and it ends well, as in like it gives you a message of hope because when the accident happened, it feels like there goes everything.
Mhm.
But when you read the whole book, you realize that God can make something good happen out of something that may seem like a tragedy. So that's really
Right.
the highlight of the book. But if you read it, you're gonna get a lot more other nuggets that I didn't really mention. Are you giving the book away, Kim? No, we didn't plan
I
this.
can.
Okay, never mind.
I
Okay,
can.
so that's the story, and of course, that's like
Love
everyone,
that.
my
Yes.
friends. If you really want to know, just Google Kimbeley Yap, and you're gonna find the details. But Kim has a book that she might give away if you're nice to her, or if you ask a question, please comment below. Maybe
Yes.
she'll give you a book. I want to ask you the next question, Kim. I've been talking too
Yes.
much. I don't want to talk so much.
Yes. Yes.
The next
Okay.
question is: now that you're working as a trainer and you're helping other women get
Mhm.
stronger, what's the thing you like the most about your job, your new job?
The thing I like the most about what I do now is actually it's actually a very fulfilling, very humbling job to have to wake up to every morning and to just see them grow. It's just very fulfilling in and there are many people that ask me why I didn't become a triathlon coach.
Mhm.
um that wasn't deep down inside, that wasn't really my passion. I could have gone into it, but I thought a lot when I was working in my first job in Fitness First, and it just it just means so much more when
Mhm.
you actually help that person out there that needed more of your help, just the
Right.
person that's walking the streets, and they need more help than the athletes. The athletes are very well taken care of. They we When we race, we have so many people taking care of us. So it's that person that's walking down the street that has no one there for them. That's the most fulfilling thing that I feel when I help that
So you
person.
get to train. I mean, I think everyone's an athlete. Life is a
Yes.
sport. So
Yes.
you don't just get to train athletes like
Yeah.
the ones you see running and standing on the podium, but you get to train
Hmm.
everyone else who just wants to be stronger because they are athletes too.
Yeah.
Great. I love that. You really have a heart for helping people tap into their themselves and to see their strength. I'll tell that about you. Alvin,
Hmm.
you got a question for Kim?
No, I just like to add on. I think
Ah,
that's beautiful, because every time when I look at social media and your posts and the comment, like your classes and members with like Mama Kim, and that brings out in you that you are like a leader, you are like the mother figure that looks after your classes, and your character shows that, Kim. I think that's just beautiful. That's one of your strengths. Now I know that
Yeah.
Noel asked what you like about your job. I'm gonna go to the opposite and say, Kim, what is one thing that you dislike about your job?
I dislike talking too much. Being in this job, I have to talk a lot. And sometimes I come home from a long day and I just don't want to talk to anyone. I just want to be quiet for a while because it's all about communicating and telling people what to do, and hopefully they listen and take the advice that I give them. Yes, but talking a lot is a wow. It's not
Yeah,
something I dislike, but I think it's a lot of talking.
I think that's part of our job, lah. I think Noel, you can agree to we talk to people. So sometimes when we go home, we just want to be in our quiet space.
yeah.
Hmm.
Right.
I think it's
Then
a
let,
balance, lah. It's like you don't have to talk
mm,
so much to get the message across. You have to talk enough,
all right.
and Kim also means that because sometimes she teaches classes back to back, and it's just really coaching and leading and live stream
Hmm.
class, and then after that she goes and does a personal training. In the PT session, you can't not talk. You have to talk. People want to talk. So
Yes.
I totally get what Kim means, and I don't think she means that she doesn't like it. It's just that it's the challenging part of the job to be
Right.
able to wear many hats as a
Hmm.
trainer and as a coach. Um, awesome, Kim. You speak a lot about women and women empowerment, and every time when I Google you, also I Google you sometimes just to see what's up out there. And a lot of articles come up. Just really somehow you just ended up being like not just helping people get stronger, but specifically helping women get stronger, right? So, what is one piece of advice you have for women? Leave the guys alone. The guys will be okay. Don't worry. Today, what do you want to say? What advice do you want to give? Because you meet so many people from all walks of life. People come to you with low self-esteem, with all kinds of issues, injuries. What, based on all of that, is there one advice that you want to just tell people, women especially?
Yeah, I want to tell every woman out there to find your tribe, because if you do this life journey alone, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. So I have my tribe, you have your tribe, and everyone will attract that same person, or roughly that shares the same passion into your life. So when you have a tribe and just a group of ladies to do life with together, it just makes it so much more easier. Just to have them there, talk to them. If you need them, they're always there. Even if you need to call them at 3 a.m., there's always that one person that will be there to listen to you and to give you some honest advice. Or you know how they say your best friends will not tell you what you want to hear, they will tell you what
Mm.
what you don't want to hear, but that is the truth. And that's what has kept me going these 2 years of the lockdown and even before that.
Mm.
Yeah.
So Kim,
Wow.
if I were to call you at 3 a.m., will you be picking up the phone?
Not me.
She's not gonna wake up. Trust
I'm
me.
gone. When I
Kim
sleep, I'm
sleeps
gone.
really deep. I tell you, even though it's like it could be an explosion across the street, she's not gonna wake up. That's Kim. But at other times, she's available for you.
I love that.
That's
I love
awesome,
that.
Kim. Thank you for sharing that. Before I pass over to Alvin to kind of start to wrap this up already, there's one question, interesting question, and I think I want you to answer it. Someone's asking. This is a Sumitra 8401. Must be someone we know. I'm not sure which Sumitra it is. She's asking if you could change one thing about Daily Muscle, what would it be? Would you change anything? And if yes, what would it be?
If I were to change anything about Daily Muscle is to have more studios, a bigger studio, because my dream is to have a lot more classes, not just strength
Oh,
and conditioning and functional training, because there's so many things, there's so many other things we could tap into, because I come from a triathlete background. So just having maybe a few bikes with another studio that has a few stationary bikes, or maybe a studio that has a swimming pool,
Yeah.
just putting it out there.
Yeah, okay. So, if you find $10 million out there tomorrow, we'll do it. But Kim has always had this Kim has always had this idea and this dream. Actually, this is like even 6, 7 years ago. She wanted to always have this thing where people go on a bike for a while, then they come off and then they run around a bit and then they pick up the weights. She always wanted to do that. And now it's a thing. Like you see studios doing that already. But we have yet to do that one day. So that is one thing. So I knew you had the answer to that question. Over to
oh,
you, Alvin, to start to
I
wrap
love
it
that.
up.
And Kim, I'm just going to leave you with that. Every dream begins with an idea. Every dreams
Yeah.
begin with an idea. So your idea of swimming pool, hey, who knows? Maybe in one of our upcoming episode, Noel, you will be showing highlight of daily muscles with a pool.
Woo!
Anything is possible.
Sure.
Anything is
Yes.
possible.
That's
Definitely.
true.
Yes, we're going to leave it at that. With that being said, Kim, thank you so much for sharing. What is the
Thank
best
you for
way
having
for
me.
our audience to know more about you, follow you, see all the things that you've been doing?
You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Instagram, it's Kimbeleyap. So my name is spelled Kimbe, no R, Leyap. You can find me on Facebook as Kimbeley Yap as well. Yes, and also if you want, you can find Daily Muscle just to find out what we do. That's where we are most of the time, and yeah, you can
So
find me there.
thank you, Kim. I'm going to put all of the links that Kim mentioned in our caption and comment section on Facebook. Now, before we let you go, Kim, I think you know this. We're going to ask you some rapid fire questions. The first thing that comes to your mind, okay?
Okay, can.
Now, I'm going to tweak it up a little bit because you have been watching our previous episode and I know you
Oh.
prepared. I'm just going to ask this. Now, Kim, if
Yeah.
you step into the gym and you see one famous person or the person that you admire the most, what's the first thing you say to the person?
I won't say anything to that person. I would just go like, okay, you're here too. Okay, that's great.
Okay,
Yeah.
Kim, I know you wrote a book. What is the next thing you want to do something of yourself to tell the world of who you are and what you do?
Who I am and what I do, I think the next big step would be maybe make a movie out of the book.
Wow.
Love it.
What do you think? What do you think?
Yeah, we're going to
I think,
Hollywood.
I think
Yay!
it's great. I think it's great. Kim, if you can eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Burger. Yes, a burger. I would eat burger for breakfast. No, we don't have breakfast. I don't normally have breakfast too early in the morning, but yeah, burger for
She
lunch
would
and
eat it
dinner.
for breakfast if she had to.
Great. Kim, what is one of your most embarrassing moment when you are teaching a group class?
When I teach a group class, there was this one first time I taught a group class with the mic on, and I hurt myself and I froze. And the ladies had to say, Kim, what's next? What are we doing next? Come on, you can do this, you can do this. And then I started getting used to hearing myself on the speakers.
First time teaching with the mic, right? Like
Yes.
wasn't used to it. Yeah,
Where was this, Kim? Was this in Fitness
At,
First, in Daily Muscle, outdoor?
at DailyMuscle, the first class I taught with the mic on.
We all had
Yeah.
those experiences. Now, last one,
Yes.
Kim. What is something you fail at in life?
What is something I failed in life? I would say I think I failed in staying connected to my family. It's a long story, but yes, I wish things could change, and I wish that I could connect with my family again. Maybe just ask for forgiveness. Maybe just that. Yeah.
Oh, I love that, Kim. I love you for being so vulnerable, for sharing with us today your wisdom. Kim, before I let you go, is there
Yeah.
anything else you like to say to everyone watching this today that I did not ask, or anything that you feel like sharing with us? Your last message to all of us.
Yeah, my last message to everyone out there is to turn your why into your wow. Instead of asking why me, you turn that into how can I help? How can I turn this around? And just imagine you're in a pit and you were drowned in self-pity, and just you're just in there. I would always think that if you think of other people, if you think of other things, that means who can I help on that day? You will pull yourself out on that pit when that person, or when you help that person, um uplift that person. When you help uplift that person, you uplift yourself as well. So turn your why into your wow.
Love that. Love
That's
that.
my last message.
Noel,
Wow.
anything to
So
add on before we thank
I will
thank
just
him?
say thank you for coming on and sharing your story. I think it's something you've done many times, but not lately. Not lately. There's a season where Kim would
Yeah, yeah,
always be
yeah.
sharing this, especially when it was after the accident and all of that. But then, so it's nice to kind of hear you talking about this, hear you talking about the accident in the book. Um, so I just want to say thank you for sharing. Thank you for accepting our invite to be on the show. Although you every Monday have to put up with this in some way or another, but here you are on the front end, normally on the back end, supporting me. She will not watch. Do you know that because I'm streaming, I will say, don't watch TV, don't do this. So she sits down and reads a book and gets on a Kindle or something. Maybe we'll have another show another day, episode 100 or something, and it's like Kim shares all the behind the scenes. That would be
Oh,
kind of fun. But I just want to say thank you. I want to publicly here just say thank you for all the things that you do. I mean, you're not always in front here, but I want to thank you now that you're in front for all the things that you do at the back end in making this show possible. Like on Monday nights, we don't go out because otherwise there's no show, right? So that's the sacrifice that she makes. So thank
Yeah.
you for sharing. Thank you for being here. You have an early day tomorrow. This is borderline your bedtime already. More so,
Yes.
this is even a greater sacrifice. I know that what you're doing, and I will see you later, lah. Right? So
Yeah.
that's it. Take care.
Like,
See you next time. But yeah, so just thank you for doing this, and I hope that you'll be open to coming more on this show and maybe being a part of this show at some point. Who knows?
Yeah.
All
thank you,
right.
Thank
Kim.
you. Thank you for
Bye.
everything you
Bye.
two are doing. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. That is beautiful. I love Kim sharing, and it's very interesting that you bring that up. Noel, you say that lately we didn't hear Kim sharing
Yeah.
her stories. And one thing that pops through my mind is sometimes as a trainer, we you may ask, Elvin, why you keep sharing the same thing? Noel, why are you saying the same thing? Sometimes the same thing, one person may hear it over time, but it may be new to someone else. And when the time is right, it will just like, oh my gosh, why didn't I thought about that? So it's amazing how everything happens at the right time, at the right place, at the right spot. And if you have a message, if you have a story, if you have an advice or something to share to people around you, just keep doing that. You never know when that little message of yours will touch someone's heart and soul and change their life.
Very true. Yeah, never stop sharing the story.
Yes.
Awesome. What's next, Alvin? What do we have in store? Episode 40. Thank you all for being here. Hey, you can still, so make sure you follow Kim. We've kind of posted her handle already, or if you just go to my handle, you're going to find her. I post and tag her. Make sure you're following her. Kim posts this. She every Monday or a couple of times a week, she does this little Instagram reels where she doesn't talk at all and she just shows everything just through her signs and through movement, and then you kind of understand what that workout circuit is. You post that, which is kind of useful, nice to use as a reference if you're looking for some sort of a workout to do. So be sure to follow her. You can still ask us any questions. If there's something that you want to ask Kim, you can post it here. I'm sure she's there actually behind the scenes. So you can post questions still here for her. You can also post us questions. This is still a bit of a Q&A. We're going to have some time later to answer any questions that you may have. And we have a couple more segments as well. So thank you for being here so far. We've just got still a few more moments, and then we're going to start wrapping up for tonight already. What do we have on next, Elvin?
Our next segment is Spotlight. Spotlight is where we shine our light on a story, on a topic, and to talk a little bit about it and some behind the scene. And our Spotlight today is something about water, Noel. I'm going to pass that to you to share with us. What is it about water that you want to spotlight?
Yeah, so it's actually just a client story that I wanted to share. I wouldn't give her name out. It's a new client. She's just started coaching me for about a week ago, and sometimes we feel that when we want to start our fitness journey, we feel that that all the stars and the moon and everything needs to be aligned, and that our work schedule needs to free up. And we need to, we feel that everything needs to fall in place first before we start our fitness journey. But actually, that's not the case. The best time to start is yesterday or last month, right? So then the best time to start is now. Even if everything, you feel like you don't have the time. And I wanted to share this story because I just took on this client who is super busy. She's a doctor. She works in the hospital. Doctors go on call. And she's like on double shift of call. So they're supposed to only do I think 6 times a month. They're supposed to be on call. She's now doing three times a week being on call. And being on call means you work the whole day and then you don't go back that night. You stay until the next morning. And then you go back home and you sleep for a while and then you come back. It's crazy, right? So how do you even get someone like that to tell them, okay, you need to work out for 60 minutes, come for a class? Not gonna happen, right? So I just want to commend her for not letting that get in the way, because if I was that person and I looked at my crazy schedule, I'll be like, wow, I don't have time. I think I'll wait for next year when things get better again. But this person took action, even though if you look at the calendar, there's no way she can fit in anything because she just needed to start. So she reached out for help. It started with a phone call. We had a half an hour phone call just for me to understand where she's coming from, her health conditions, where she needed help. So if you're wondering, what does her routine look like for someone who has no time? And why Alvin mentioned no time about water is because she's so busy and too engaged with what she's doing and non-stop seeing patients one after the other back to back, that she literally told me that I have no time to drink water, no time. And asked me back in my face as in you expect me to drink water in front of my patients? To which I said, yeah, I think they won't mind. But at the same time, I kind of knew what she was saying. So what do you advise someone like this? So here's what I got her doing, okay? All I did was I said she was currently drinking 1 liter of water a day, which is just so little. And instead of telling her hey, you need to work up to maybe 2 to 3 liters, I just asked her to drink a little bit more, 1 cup more. Can you do that? And so that's one thing she's working on, to drink more water. We're not talking about workouts. We're not talking about changing your diet. Just drink more water. And not to go and walk to a water dispenser, because that is extra effort, not going to happen. So to get a water bottle and to set reminders on your phone to remind you to drink water, because if she doesn't set a reminder, it's not going to work. So you may be thinking that this is so insignificant. She needs to lose weight and she's come to you for help, but all you did was get her to drink more water. Yeah, I did. Because the goal is so small that she can achieve it. The trick is for her to achieve it, because then she can have a win. And when she can have one win, then she can be inspired to do the next thing. The next thing is what? To walk more. She said, I'm walking all day. I said, like, can you walk a little bit more? During lunchtime, you sit down, right? Like, can you walk? So little things like that. Again, I never expected her to come to the gym. I'm like, keep the gym aside for now. Just focus on what you can do. So those were the little things I did. And just to fast forward, it's been a week that she's been working on these things. And although I gave her the two simple things, I never insisted that she needs to come to the gym. She came for her first workout today. She managed to make it. Although she said, there's no way I can make it for a 6:30 workout, not going to happen. She came for a 6:30 class, came early, got her diet in check. She went and signed up for some meal subscription plan. I never asked her to do any of this. It was in the works, but later on. So it's amazing how little steps can make someone believe in themselves. So that was really my little story that I wanted to share. Which is that sometimes it's okay to break down your goals into the smallest, even most insignificant thing, because it adds up. It adds up. All right. So I hope that helps someone. That's my little sharing that I want to do. I'm seeing that Kim says that she can't hear me. I'm wondering, did something go wrong with my mic again? Can you hear me, Alvin? Oh, hang on.
Yes, Noel?
Okay. I couldn't hear you.
I think Instagram also is having a little bit of delay, and we are all good. I can hear you perfectly clear. And I love that sharing, Noel. One thing that comes to my mind is any progress is a progress. You know, the fact that having the intention and awareness to go and exercise and move and become a better and healthier version of yourself, that itself is a progress. You know, you keep developing on that, and you find yourself, being a different version of yourself by the end of the month, end of the year. Every small things lead to big results. Love that, Noel.
Great.
Okay, with that being said, I'm going to move to one of our most favorite segment, is Ask Us Anything. This is where you are invited to ask us anything about health, nutrition, fitness, movements, business, or anything you'd like to know about Noel and myself. So I'm going to look through Facebook, and Noel, we're going to look through Instagram to see if we can find any questions. I have a questions that sent over the past week. I'm going to pin that up, and we're going to have a look, and then we're going to go through anything on Instagram.
Sure.
So the question is, I keep working out and I don't see any progress. What else can I do? You want to take this first, Noel? And you know why I'm going to pass this to you? Because I feel like you kind of answered this a little bit in the previous spotlight question with that client example.
Correct. Well, the question it's also a very vague question, because like when this person says that if you are here, let me know, make sure maybe so I can get some clarity on the question. But when you say that you're working out, like it would be helpful to know what the quantity of workouts that you're doing, and also like what are your goals, right? Because if your goal is just to get some movement in, there's so many ways to do it, right? So, but let's assume that you're training enough and you're not seeing progress. I think the first step that you should do is it may sound like I'm being biased because I'm a coach and I help people, but I really think that the first step to troubleshoot something is to get help. And not to try and figure things out on your own, especially if you've already sat down and thought about it and you're cracking your head and you don't know why you're not progressing. The best thing to do is to hire a coach or speak to a coach, or anyone who you look up to, who you think is anyone who looks fitter than you, or is someone at the gym. If you walk to the gym and hey, this person's so consistent almost every day, I'm kind of like a newbie here. That person, I'm sure, has some piece of information to share with you. That's like, if you don't want to hire a coach and you just want to talk to someone, just talk to someone, because I think there's valuable lessons that you can learn, because someone on the outside can look at your situation and give you some sort of advice that you may not be able to see, because you're like on the inside. It's hard to see what you could be doing wrong. So the first step is to go to someone else, a third party, who can review your routine, review the workouts. Maybe you're not getting enough sleep. Maybe it's your diet's not on point, something like that you just are not able to identify. So my one answer to this question would be to just get some help, get some outside help to help you identify where you can improve on to get some progress.
Yes, I do agree with that. And my additional point is, if you don't know where to look for, my invitation is to reach out to Noel and myself, and we will understand you a little bit better and pinpoint you to someone who could assist you. And how to break plateau, I'm going to invite you to check out. Lawrence has shared a little journal by ACSM. I'm going to put the link to that journal that would perhaps give you more insight on what are some other things that you can do in terms of training, in terms of nutrition, to take your training and nutrition to the next level. So do check that out on the Facebook comment section. Do we have any questions on Instagram, Noel?
Not yet, but I want to ask you a question, and it comes from this now. Someone asked Kim, what would she change about DailyMuscle? And then Kim said that she would want bigger studios and so on. I want to ask you, Alvin, since our show is about two guys in their gyms, I would also add on and answer that question. So, like, for you now, assuming that this whole 19, 20 months of COVID and all of that, what would you change? Would you change anything about your gym or how you run something, your programs? Is there something that you change? I'd be curious to know.
Would I change anything? Yes. I feel that, like, having a personal training studio in Kajang and it's just run by like one-man show, one thing at the back of my head that I constantly remind myself is I need to be evolving all the time. I need to change, So that always has been at the back of my head, and it's always something that I do to change. Like, to answer your question more specifically, what is one thing that I'm changing right now, or what am I changing this year, would be to put myself in a larger audience. So being a trader, one of my downside or one limitation is I get to see one-to-one or reach out to at post one to a small group trading. What if I can send that same message, that same knowledge and experience to 1 to 100, 1 to 200 maybe? So that would be more compelling, more effective. And that's where I look into corporate trading. So that's one thing that I'm changing, one thing that I'm learning and exploring is going into a different audience, different target market as a personal trader.
That's awesome. You're right. Yeah, because personal trainers, it's personal training, is one-on-one. So if your goal is to help more people, how do you put yourself out there? Well, one way is doing this, right? These shows and all the content that you put out on your Instagram is one way of getting out there. But I like that on what you're changing. Wow. Okay.
And I think change is inevitable, Noel. I think any fitness professional out there who's doing the same thing, one of my belief is that we must always put ourselves outside of our comfort zone. We must always reach out to friends, seek mentors, seek for coaching, and constantly grow, because if we rely on ourselves so much, we tend to see what we do, and what we do can limit our progress. So it's really, really important for any fitness professional, or even you have a fitness goal, to reach out to someone who can make you better, which is very, very important in any successful journey.
Very true. To get the advice of someone who's been there and done that and can save you the mistakes, save you from making the mistakes that they have done, and that is so true. Awesome. If I were to change something in Daily Muscle, well, Kim says she's going to change and get more studios. Okay, sure. That's. I wouldn't change that though. I mean, yes, but I think what I would have changed is that I wish we had kind of been doing live stream classes before and not just when the pandemic happened. And it's one of those things which it was like on the to-do list, but never really had a compelling reason to do it until COVID happened, and then it's like, oh my god, now we have to do it. But at least we had some structure and some ideas, so it wasn't like starting from scratch. But I wish we had started it 2 years ago. That's one thing. If I would change something about Daily Muscle, I wish we started live streaming 2 years ago, because imagine the amount of people we could have helped. People who getting them used to online training even before the pandemic hits, preparing them for being self-sufficient, working from home. So that would be one thing I would have changed, because it would be cool to see where we would have evolved and how our members would have evolved if they were exposed to online training from home. Because the past 20 months of our members training from home, because we never stopped our online classes, so many people have been so successful in their fitness journey because now they're more convenient. People who last time can train only 3 times per week because of distance and no time, and they come back from work too late. Now they can train 5 times per week because of convenience. They're at home, they're still with their kids. So that's a huge bonus, and I only wish that I had given them that facility, that convenience before the pandemic hit. That's one thing I would change. So, well, we can't go back in time. So, but we can change
to take
things
action now,
moving forward.
Right.
So yes. So
moving forward.
Onwards. All right. Awesome.
Thank you so much, Noel, for your sharing. I invite all of you to comment any questions that you have. Noel and I is going to be here for another few more minutes before we close and move to perhaps a little after party on Instagram. As Noel is scrolling through Instagram to see if there's any questions, I'm going to invite all of you who are tuning in on Facebook and LinkedIn to please click on the share button. So this live that is going to stay on our Facebook page can remain on your news feed for your friends and family to view. Okay, the live stays on our page. So do remember to also follow us, which I'm going to put all the links to everything you need in the comment section below in the Facebook version of this. Okay. Anything on Instagram, Noel?
Awesome. Not really. I don't see any new comments coming in. Just our friends from before who are still hanging around and just listening. I'm just so grateful for all of you all for just staying on the whole time. We'll have a little bit of a informal chit chat shortly once we wrap up the show. And it's interesting. It's like as you start to end the show, more people start coming in. It's like, is it time for the after party? I'm just here for the after show chit chat, and that's okay because after this we're gonna talk and it's not recorded, and you can ask anything that you were maybe too shy to ask earlier. So maybe over to you, Alvin, just to wrap it up for tonight, episode 40.
With that being said, Noel and I thank you all for being with us. Episode 40, the episode continue next week to episode 41. We are going strong. We have an amazing guest, very knowledgeable in terms of strength and conditioning. So if you're an athlete, you want to look at performance, tune in next week. That's my little teaser. Tune in next week because he's going to give you some of the latest studies in terms of speed, agility, athleticism. Okay, with that being said, thank you so much for being here, spending your time with us. Noel and I appreciate you so much. And we invite you to our little after party in Instagram where we'll just have informal, unrecorded conversation. With that being said, I wish you all happy and healthy week ahead. Bye, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.